Hey, what's up? Up. Let me do something here real quick. I know why it does that. There we go. Much better. I hope everybody's good. I'm good. Vixen, how you doing, dear? Excuse me. How you doing, dear? Hope you're good. Um, Robert, good to see you again. Glad you made it. Nightmare. Vixen, I hope you had a good weekend there, huh? You said, "Hey, Roger, what's up, bud? How you doing, sir?" And howdy. Settling in. Give me a few. Let me unwind here. I was trying to unwind before the show. Um, Crazy here. But I love talking to people, so it was all good. But yeah, been a busy day. I like busy days, so it makes the day go so much faster. Um, but I hope everybody's having a good week so far and had a good weekend and all that good stuff. Enjoyed the stream yesterday. It was a good one. I don't say much, but do I ever get a chance to say much with those two? So all good. And I hope everybody is going to have a good weekend coming up. Now, I believe Pixie is streaming tomorrow night. So Pixie will be here at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And of course, I'll be in the background. And I'll be in the stream. That's why I'm in chat, is because I just kind of watch over, make sure she doesn't have any issues. Worked all last weekend. Oh, that's right. Didn't you? I thought you said you had to work. That's right, when you came in. Everybody came in kind of late last time. It's good to see you. I'm glad you made it. But yeah, Pixie will be here tomorrow night at 8. Gemma and I, Friday. And then we'll talk about Tuesday. Then I should be here Saturday night for Gemma's replays. I've been showing 2 videos, so come and hang out. Now tonight I'll probably stop about 1:30, 2 o'clock. I have to get the car into the mechanic tomorrow, where I have to go in and have my tires checked. And then Pop's got a doctor appointment at the VA hospital, so nothing major. Just they look over his feet and stuff and make sure he's doing good. And it's going to be busy one day. I'll be home making dinner and then getting ready for Miss Pixie. So, but yeah, full day tomorrow. It'll probably be a full day Friday too. I hope everybody shows up for Gemma Friday. I was rough last week, so everybody had to forgive me. That's why I get quiet, why I get the way I do. Usually in a week it starts catching up with me. I do my best. So I hope everybody's good though. And I keep saying that. We've got 5 watching, which is nice. So 5 people. Hello. So anybody got anything going on planned big time this weekend? My first Reiki Sharman seminar was the weekend before. Okay. I knew you had something coming up. I just didn't know when. So I kept thinking it was last weekend. I'm sure if we say Edna's name a couple times, she'll show up. She's on Facebook now, so it was kind of a shock that I have her have me a friend request. I was like, oh, Edna's here. So Edna. And Robert, it's great to see you here. I'm glad you stopped in, man. I really am. And here probably about once people start coming in, hopefully, and I start getting somewhat of a crowd, where I'll start going into some stories. I always try to give it about a half hour or so. Get people in, let them say hello, get settled. I say hi's, let you guys say hi to each other. But I hope people have good plans for the weekend coming up. It's supposed to be fairly decent here. Now, we were nice today, man. I'm telling you, this was to me a perfect fall day. We were in the mid-lows. We were in about 70, 72 all day. It's nice and cool, breeze blowing. Good fall day. Hey, Jason. Good fall day. Now we're supposed to heat back up, but only into the mid-70s, maybe low 80s. I'm good, and I hope you're having a good evening too, and apparently you are. You always seem to be in a good mood, so welcome, Jason. I hope you're having a good week so far. But yeah, also, please, if you haven't checked out Gemma's books, please do. They're great reads. It's only 9:05. Yeah, you're a few hours behind me, aren't you? Yeah, it's when I stay up to 3, man, it's still early for you. That's what cracks me up. That's good. But yeah, I always crack up. It's always amazing, and it always still amazes me to this day that I'm in here. We get to talking to people clear on the other side of the world and stuff. It's pretty cool. I always am amazed by that. The internet. I guess that shows you how much of a boomer I really am. I'm in Lacey, Washington. Oh, you're up in that big old corner of the country there. That's nice. Washington's a nice place. I've never been there. There's a couple places up in that corner I want to go. And up in the Northwest. Been to Jersey. Actually, Jersey was nothing like I anticipated. I really enjoyed where I was at in Jersey. Now, we got stuck in New York traffic once, and that was a nightmare. 3 hours, man. 3 hours to get home. That's insane. Where all the scoots? Yep, that's where they all live. Well, I don't know. They're pretty scattered everywhere, but I guess I would say the majority of the counts are right in that area. That's for sure. All along that northern California and all that. We have them here, Grassman. And then you got Dogman above us and everywhere else, I guess. Did anybody watch Expedition X tonight? Yep, Dogman too. Yep. Yeah, that's everywhere too. Expedition X tonight was, I like Josh Gates. I met him at a gardening show, travel and gardening show. Actually, a very nice guy. But I liked his shows. I always liked it. I like when he did Destination Truth and all that. But they did Expedition X tonight was the Dogman conspiracy. They were up in Michigan checking out that airport. It's kind of cool, but it could have been longer. As far as I don't know how much time they spend at those places, but if they probably spent time there, they probably would have caught something. But those shows, they always kind of crack me up. I always get the kick out of them, though. And I do watch them. Now, I won't watch anything with Zach. I'm not a big fan of Zach. I hope he's watching. Hope you hear me, Zach. Pardon my mouth. Now, I know a lot of people like the show and stuff, but what can I say? He's a mama's boy. But yeah. Rexford County, Michigan is where the Dogman led. Yep. Yeah, they were up in that area. It was a pretty good show, actually. I just like to see them. When they do stuff like that, they should dedicate 2 hours or something, or do 2 parts or do a series instead of just trying to cram it all in 1 hour. Both Sabe and Dogman have been reported in May. Yeah, now see, I know a lot of these cryptids are all over the world. Just they may be different species or different lore, different names. A lot of Dogman sightings are actually huge coyotes, and I would believe that, or big wolves. I'm up from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Oh, okay, cool. You're from that area? Wow, that's cool. How'd you end up in Washington? I've been in Ohio all my life. Now, I've been around, but a lot, close to. I've been most of the places here in Ohio. And I've been around the states, around us, a couple of places. Traveled to Colorado a couple times. I don't fly. I like to I've only flew Colorado once, and that was with the youth group many moons ago. And then to Japan, because my Tourette's, that was a nightmare flight. I really felt bad for a lot of people because I'd go to sleep and start rocking, and they'd all freak out thinking I was having a seizure and stuff. They finally had to sedate me, which is all right, but it didn't help. That stuff doesn't help. My family had to move. I've got family in Michigan and in Washington. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. And they moved here in 1990. Okay, cool. I gotcha. Yeah, my emotions on Dogman are kind of, because see, I had what I believe is a werewolf encounter a while back. So, Dogman and werewolf are two very different things to me, but to a lot of people too. But a lot of people don't believe in werewolves. Ask Ryan. Ryan, are you watching? Do we have an argument about that? Well, not an argument. A good conversation. But anyways, in fact, where I had that encounter, I'm going to talk about later here in a bit, about this. Friends that own that property have you want to call it a prefab. It's like a trailer, but it's more like a house. So they call them prefabs. Yeah, I'm sure they do there too. And they bought land they had one on there and really fixed it up real nice. And it's, nice property. There's a pond off to that, a lot of woods. And, but it sits kind of on a hill, and then everything goes down around it. And I've had some pretty freaky stuff happen while I was there. Me and a friend stayed. The guy that had the encounter before that encounter, we used to go off and on during the summer. Sometimes they'd just let us, they'd have a big party over the weekend. Then me and him, he would get off work, and we would stay a couple extra days by ourselves in that place, up at that place, and just hang out. And I had a couple weird encounters. And that's when I think he started really realizing that his friend that he's known for so long, that he joked with about some of my stuff and been with me and made jokes then, actually kind of started believing. And then that encounter made him, freaked him out good. And we haven't talked really much since. In fact, I haven't talked to him since. Anyways, I'm going to talk about an encounter I had one night down there roaming around old cabin that sits off of their property behind the place. That was kind of creepy. A very long drive. Yeah, I don't mind that kind of drive though, We drove to Colorado. My ex had grandparents in Estes Park, where Stanley Hotel's at. He was a bigwig in that town, and he was an ex-colonel in the Signal Corps. So he was that guy that did all that blackout you saw in a lot of government paperwork and, black stuff. So he was always interesting to talk to. I liked the man a lot. In fact, our son is named after him. But we drove out. I wouldn't fly. We'd drive out. It was a lot easier, and we had fun. I like seeing the countryside. Though Kansas was kind of boring. I always made fun of Kansas as we went through Kansas. But yeah, I'd rather drive. Having different opinions, yes, and it is a good thing, What opens your mind even more. Always said, I always say I may not agree with you, but I will listen to you. I'm always open to new ideas. Even if I don't agree with you, it may still make me look in other directions, and it's helped me a lot over the years. As long as it's a good conversation. Yeah, I don't do heated conversation. That's when I usually say, okay, enough is enough. Let's just agree to disagree. And that's usually where I stop. But if we're both learning something, I like those conversations. But yeah, I'm going to talk about that place tonight. This cabin down there was creepy. Actually, it was like a log cabin. It was a log cabin but they had painted it that they actually painted it kind of like that log cabin. You remember those log cabin, the logs, Lincoln logs? They actually painted it to look like that, and had been vacant for a long time. I guess black mold broke out. You can see it actually through the windows, but there wasn't much stories about the place. The people that owned the place, I guess, were pretty quiet people. And even when they came to look over the place the last time they were there to clean it out and get everything out of there, I was told they were not very talkative. They were very quiet, very hush hush. But the place always gave off kind of a really creepy vibe. So I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit and a couple other things. We may not always agree with each other, but that's okay. That's how it works. We all learn, and I heard heard that from Tex and Tex, yeah. Hey, Ron Forrest. Or we call him Riley. He likes Riley. I like that name too. So we call him Riley. He likes to be called Riley. And I do like that name. But hopefully we'll get started here. What time is it? Last time I said that it was like 3:00, and that was last Saturday. I said, I'm going to end at 2, and next thing I know, it was 3:00. So, 2:17. We're good. I'll give it a couple more people come in. And like I said, while people come in, I'll give the rundown again for those kind of sneaking in and ghosting around in the background. Tomorrow night, Pixie will be here. Just got that confirmation. At 8:00, Thursday night, 8 hour, 8 Eastern time. I don't know what it is on your time. But she'll be on at 8. So watch for her thumbnail. And then Gemma and I will be here Friday for Oracles, 7:15. She tries to start early if she can, so bear with her. Hold on, I'm glitching. I usually can fix it by doing one thing. 1 second here. I'm glad chat is hopping. There we go. Let's hope that helps. And then I will be here Saturday night for Gemma's replay. I kind of leave Saturday nights to like if something comes up, but I'll usually hear. But I think you all know by now if I can't make it, I'll make sure everybody knows one way or another. But I try to be here. I miss you guys when I'm not here. I've gotten quite used to doing this. And like I said, these nights, Gemma's replay will always be Gemma's replay. I always play Gemma's videos on those. But Wednesday nights, I call it spooking time. But, it's still chilling chat too. So, if you guys are having more fun talking, that's what we'll do. But I now that we're in Halloween seasons, I plan on telling encounters. I got some friends told me too. I actually had a friend that would call Monday night and remind me of an encounter he had told me about, because I have friends that watch the streams, but they won't talk in chat. So if you see me pulling my ear or touching my neck, that just means a friend's watching. It's kind of like that Cara Burnett thing. That way they know. They text me. If you see me look down at my phone, it's just me letting them know. I saw the text. Still have that pesky spirit board in your basement, Riley? Ooh, I remember him talking about that. Do you? I hope not. Let me catch up on chat here. We don't see things as they are. We see them as we are. Yeah, actually, that is a good way to put it. I think everybody interprets what they see a little differently. We may all give the same description, but it's usually that there is differences. But we're also influenced by other talk, is what I call it. It's from hearing things, So you're still kind of got some suggestion going on in your head, but everybody pretty much sees and experiences things differently and reacts differently. It's either one of the two, fight or flight. Sometimes it's just stand in amazement. That's usually been my case. It's just standing like, I can't believe I'm seeing this. And I'm kind of crazy. I'm the guy who will go toward it. So, because I'm curious. I know that curiosity hurts the kitty cat, but how do you get answers if you don't chase it? That's what always upsets me. See, I agree with Gemma. I'm not a big fan of these guys that, something happens when they're ghost hunting or something, you all freak out and take off. It's like, why? Why? You're not learning anything. Calm yourselves. Stay put. But I'm not a big fan of, as a person that used to go out and ghost hunt, I'm not a big fan of calling things out because I've seen what happens. Because some things are not what you always think they are. No, my sister took it. She gave it some friends who does. Ooh, interesting. I wonder if you had an attachment to it, Riley. Because I'm curious if you did. Because did you experience stuff when you had it? I can't remember if you said you did or not. That's the thing about, and that's another thing. Now, we used to use the old tape cassette. Well, that's all we had because a lot of the stuff I did before a lot of that stuff was around. We didn't have iPhones and stuff like that. Heck, it wasn't until almost the 80s when we got VCR camcorders. I mean, I had a friend that had a Super 8 movie camera and projector. And we've done stuff with it. But we'd either using our ghost hunting tools were cassette tape players, the old ones. Sometimes we'd use a mic. Sometimes we'd use the mic on the cassette player. We'd always, if we used the mic, it always seemed to not be the best. We always had better results without the mic, but we did use the mic. We liked taking a TV set. And if the place didn't have power, we always had a generator, a real small generator, and we'd run the TV off that and just let the static play on TV and and hook a VCR to it. We've got some pretty creepy stuff. In fact, I'm trying to find the guy that has all those VHSs. I'm really hoping he still has them and that we can get them transferred over to DVD because I'd like to go back and look at some of that stuff. But he moved, I believe, to California, and it's been a while, so I've got friends trying to chill out for him. I never thought I'd ask to see those tapes again. I haven't seen all of them, but I know that he had caught stuff, and some of the stuff he caught I've seen. But we used to do that, use an old TV, just like you would see in White Noise. So when I saw that movie, it's like, we used to do that. That's nothing new. People act like that was something new. Well, ghost people who did that kind of thing knew kind of about that. But we were using that same technique before that movie even came out. We also would leave a radio just on static. Excuse me. We wouldn't, run the channels. You didn't have a channel. We would just find a flat channel. We'd go to like one of the AM bands and just let it sit in static, and like that we got stuff. Of course, camera. We had, later we had the disposable cameras. And I know somebody has a lot of that stuff too. I think it's the same guy. I think it's still Charles that has all that stuff. So hopefully we can find him and find out if he still has that stuff. I'm hoping he's still alive. Last time I heard about him back in 2008, he was having a rough time. So I'm hoping that we can find him and hope that he still has all that stuff. Or it's back here with his parents. I don't even know if his parents, but I'm pretty sure. He might have it. If my dad's still alive, he may have parents still around. So I've got feelers out. I never did. It was just laying in the bed, laying in the basement for years. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, back up the chat. Yeah, and your sister giving it to paranormal people might be interesting. If she knows it, if she should ask her if they've ever experienced anything with it, if they've used it yet. Excuse me again. Reality is just merely an interpretation of our own senses. Okay, I agree with that. Everybody looks at that differently. No, I'll take that as a good comment. Reality is definitely interesting, but there's a lot more to reality and our interpretation of our senses than people realize. A lot more. There's things that we haven't even touched upon. And now that I believe not only is that veil thinning and you see through it a lot better now, it's opening. That veil is lifting. Stuff is starting to slay off. And I've noticed a big pickup in UFO sightings and cryptid sightings, and people are talking more openly about this stuff. And that's happened over time, yes. A lot of, some people say, oh, it's because of all these shows are on now. No, that's why all these shows are on now. And it's true, everybody's got a camera. But do you think now that, here's a question for everybody, and I know it's been brought up before. Do you think the uptick in all this is because everybody's got a camera now? Or is it because state of the world, and because everybody's got a camera now, we can catch it more now? I'd like to know some of your opinions on that. Because that's, my view is this activity's always been, there's always been activity. And now, yes, we got more cameras on hand. We're, starting to see more, but the problem is you got so many fakers out there. But there's still a lot of stuff that's out there that's very real. But at the same point, yeah, I think the state of the world has caused things to uptick. So, yeah, I think there's going to be more people talking about it. I think people who never experienced things are going to experience things. But I've always said that probably out of 10 people, 8 of those have experienced something in their life they haven't been able to explain. And probably only 3 of those people probably actually have talked about it. And the rest of them just kind of either just ignored it or didn't realize it happened. Was oblivious to it actually happening. They just kind of blew it off and read it off. So what are your opinions on that, folks? You can leave your comments. If you can't get it in here, just leave a comment down in the comments. And that's another thing. Please like, please subscribe, and please leave comments afterwards. I do read them. I do go, even though they go to Gemma, I do go check the comments. I got to go back. I never left a comment after Tuesday's show, and I need to go back and do that. Because I always try to leave a comment like Riley. I always try to come in and leave something. Even though I didn't talk a whole lot Tuesday, I was there. I mean, I got to tell my gin story, but I think a lot of you guys heard that last Wednesday. Probably because more people have cameras. Yeah, see, that's what a lot of people think. But I think, and that's true too, Vixen, that UFO sightings seem to pick up the upticks during human conflict. I know during Korea, when my dad was stationed in Japan, I have a funny. He gets into the cryptid stuff and ghosts, but he's a big time believer of UFOs and all that. So, I actually think that led to something he may have saw in Japan while he was stationed there, either before or after. And because he makes comments, and I believe even during his training, he may have saw something, because he makes these comments and they're kind of like off the wall. It's like, and I go to question him and he kind of gets quiet about it. I mean, he did hand me a Bible and a Chariots of the Gods for a birthday gift at one time. So, and asked me read them both and tell me what I thought. That pretty much hooked me into a lot of things, especially history. So, not as much a UFO as it was what was really going on back. And are we really getting history that are we being told the true history? And we're not. They left a lot of stuff out, changed a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is hidden away. A lot of stuff is being discovered now, and they don't know how to explain it because they've already tried to hide it. And so, but those are my opinions. I do believe when persons report hauntings, a haunting or encounter, it can trigger similar experience in other. Yes, now I do agree with that. I believe that. I would go with that. You know, it's like everybody going to the same haunted house. All these people that go to a haunted house, or like here, it's Mansfield Prison or the Ohio Refractory. They go there because they know it's haunted, so they expect something. So in their head, they're already out, playing in their head of something happened. It sets that tone, that decision. World War II, my dad served in the South Pacific. Oh, really? He said chatter about bogies, and the Foo Fighters were pretty heavy. Yes. Yeah, basically, they were gremlins, but we know what they were talking about. The Foo Fighters, I hear a lot about from also Vietnam vets. I know a few Vietnam vets. Actually, when I was living downtown over on the east side, and it was a rough neighborhood, there was a family that lived 2 doors down from me, and he was a Vietnam vet. His parents owned that house, and then he took over when he got out, and he suffered real bad PS, trauma. He did 3 tours, and he had talked about that there was a couple times when they flew in helicopters that these really weird things would fly around, mess with the helicopters and stuff like that. Melissa, I was going to say, I was just waiting for somebody to say something about the Foo Fighters. Oh, their music's good. It's okay. How you do, Miss Bacon, Miss Junior Bacon Dragon? I hope you are well, my dear. I'm not talking too well, but do I ever? Sometimes there is a simple explanation, like in many of them 411 cases, but people deliberately keep out the important facts. Yes, they do, but there's a lot of those 411 missing cases that are really messed up, a lot of them, and a lot of them are still unexplained. And there's quite a few of them right here in Ohio. But it's funny because a lot of those, if you pin them up on board, they are also around a lot of Bigfoot sightings, and they're also around a lot of caves and caverns. I hope you're well, my dear. I'm glad you stopped in. I hope Robert's still hanging out too. Robert, if you're listening, seriously, yell anytime, my friend. Just give me time to respond. But Melissa, man, it's good to see you. It's good to see all you folks. Yeah, I'm going to get into it here in a minute. Now we got a crowd going. I'm sure you guys ready for me to shut up and actually start talking about something decent instead of running my mouth. She's a busy woman. She works, Melissa. Just like us. Working hard at doing nothing. Man, it freaked me out, Melissa, that in Facebook that paranormal pop shot showed up on my thing, and I was like, who's doing stuff on this channel? And then it was that other thing. I thought that was nice. But it kind of freaked me out. Thank you. I don't know if I'm looking good. I'm definitely looking old. My mouth kind of got readjusted Monday, so I was working hard to get my voice back and my talking back, but It kind of screwed me up. I like Dennis Martin one. If you dig a little further, the boy was likely abducted by a feral human, not a paranormal. It's highly possible. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. So, anything's possible. I think people step into that kind of thinking too fast. And I'm like you, I think people need to look more at the details before we start jumping conclusions. But there are a lot of missing 411s too, that maybe it's time we start thinking about the paranormal aspect. That's why Gemma was doing the one stories, is because, why she did the one books, is because sometimes it doesn't hurt to stop and look at the other side. You're not getting answers with the details and the scientific. So maybe it wouldn't hurt to start looking at the paranormal side. I haven't seen it. He might have come to hang out for Halloween. I miss him so bad. I miss him too. I do. Even though I didn't know him that well. He treated me with a lot of respect, and I appreciated that. I've been around. Yes, she's been around, just running around. Good old Miss Vixen, busy little lady. I miss it though. Well, we miss you, Vixen, when you're not around. Gemma brings you up, a lot of you guys up. I know a lot of them are busy. Some people have been. I know other people too have been streaming during Friday nights. I think that's kind of bummed her out, but I mean, she's getting views, so it counts. That counts. I heard about the family saying they seen a large hairy guy carrying a boy, but I've also heard that part was fabricated. Oh, I do believe in ghosts. I believe two ghosts, and it's good to believe. The family reenacted their statement, retracted their statement later. Yeah, I think Gemma's actually talked about that case. Yeah, there's a lot of, details are important. And I'm a guy of details. Big time. I am one of those guys that will take the straw and literally go piece by piece to find that needle. That's the way I am. So yeah, I don't think a lot of things we're given up on too soon. But like I said, there are some of these 411 cases that I've looked at and seen not only through Pilates and all the other guys that do these. There's some stories out there, some things out there. Just you got to stop and wonder. The bear man, bear pig man, whatever it is. No, a bear man. I've heard everything now. We actually, this is pretty funny because me and a guy were talking not too long ago, and we weren't trying to be funny, but it was kind of funny because you first heard about pig man, then goat man, then dog man. And dog man's been around, but that has really upticked too. And then you got Bigfoot, and then which is what half human and half ape, more or less. It's a primate. Then we said, oh, next thing you know, you're going to hear. But then you got Mothman, and he goes, then you're going to hear about dog and cat man, which I've actually heard a story about a cat man, which is really weird on another channel. He took it from the Monsters and Mayhem book or whatever it was. I have to go back and pull that up. But we were just listing all the animals, that could have possibly, they could be experimenting with and making half human. Do you think big feet may be just for humans? No, I actually think the Squatch, Bigfoot is real. I think it is a living entity. I think it's been around a very long time. I think you may find that it's also I personally think that it may be even offspring of giants or part of the Nephilim, but a lot of people argue with me about that. But that's the way I see it. That's my view. That's my theory, because a theory is not an answer. A theory is just a synopsis of what you believe and you're trying to prove it. You know, every culture in this world has something or a bunch of stuff. You know, it's like the Fae. They're everywhere. You know, Bigfoot everywhere. They're pretty much the species have been accounted for in almost all the continents. Same thing with, like I said, the Fae. Chupacabra. That's another one. You hear about it mostly in Mexico, but that lore goes all the way down to South America too. Also in Spain, I believe, there is something like that. So yes, there's these things that are kind of scattered throughout these entities may be scattered around the world or related, it's like subspecies of each other, I believe, but I think there's also much more than that. One thing I'm sure is Dennis. Yeah, I kind of believe that too. And I think Gemma will tell you the same thing. It depends on, we have Greco, who literally, now you have to forgive my pronunciation of a lot of these words. Me and Ryan picks on me about it all the time. Literally mean one who is always hungry. It's more like a supernatural entity who preys on people, especially girls. Okay. Chupacabra was first reported in 1995 in Puerto Rico, and the woman who saw it first later changed her story a lot. Yeah, and I remember a write-up about that, not that incident, but about how it was first discovered. Ooh, excuse me. I got it back tonight. Let me get a drink here. Many of the First Nation people who have contacted with say call them the first people who were forest protectors. They believe them to be another type of human being, and that kind of makes sense too, because they're very, it's obvious they're intelligent, and it's obvious they live in like a family form, as a family group. These are not something that's primitive in any way. They're very intelligent. I mean, they're intelligent enough to know how to disappear from sight fast. So, La Llorona is everywhere. Lady, yeah, but see, that is the Lady in White is a very old tale that goes way back, and that's another tale that's in a lot of countries in different forms. It's like the Cryberry Bridge. I know states like here in Ohio, I think we have one or two, maybe even three of them. But they're everywhere. Or haunted roads, they're everywhere. La Llorona is everywhere. Have you seen the La Llorona anime where it eats the kid? I haven't seen that one yet, but I'm sure I'll stumble across it because I'm an anime guy. I like anime, so I just don't get into the two. Well, actually, I get into a lot of except hentai. I don't do hentai. It's a little freaky for me. But the Japanese can be a little freaky. So, you've never watched anime? You should take a minute and pick out something really cool. I'll give you a suggestion. It's fun. And there's stuff, a lot of women like it because there's a lot of lovey-dovey stuff. But there's a couple of movies I think you'd probably like, Melissa, that you'd probably get off on, that you would probably enjoy. The new one out right now is Blue Heron. It's an emotional one, and it's anime. It's an emotional. It's about love. And it's good. It's so excellent. I'll try anything at least twice. Now you sound like me. So yeah. So what time we got here? And either passed out or she's not in the mood to Sometimes I stall for Edna because I know she likes listening to my encounters, but she must have passed out, which is good because she needs a rest. So let me get started here. Unless you guys just want to keep up what we're doing. One thing I have learned, Ghost, is everything's possible. I'll tell you that. I've seen the impossible with my own eyes. So everything is possible. And whatever we start researching, never have any perceived ideas or thoughts. I have to reread that. One thing I have learned, Ghost, is anything can be possible. And whenever we start researching, never have any perceived ideas or thoughts. That makes sense. It's the first time I've called. I could have been a fluke. Oh, it's the first time could have been a fluke. Man, you always try it twice, yeah? Or sometimes the second time's even better. Stop. I always like to say, though, the problem with today is now that we're talking so much about it, we've seen so many fake stuff and real stuff, and it's hard to tell the two. But I don't want to call them newbies, because the people that are coming into this community or discovering this type of, I want to call it a community because it is kind of a community, a very big one. And then when I say paranormal, I mean it all. I think most people understand that when you say paranormal, I mean from UFOs to the Fae, everything. Anything that's not explained. That we think we can explain it, but can we explain it without holding the proof in front of, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I think that now everybody's influenced. It's like we were talking about Tuesday, that because this has become such a big thing over the last few years and everybody's talking about it. Yeah, you get this effect that we're kind of manifesting some of this stuff too. I'm 100% tired of people faking. And it's really bad now with AI and the great, graphics we have now, CGI, because you got to be aware, not only do you have CGI, you have AI, and that is two different things. Fake is everywhere. Remember the Michigan Dogman photo? Yes. In fact, I'm the one that showed it in the stream. And as soon as I saw that picture, and that was a while ago, I was like, this is so fake. I was just laughing. And usually I'll sit and watch these top tens, and you'll laugh because I'll sit there and I'll replay the video, I'll slow it down, speed it up, and I'll tell you, is it real or fake? I'll probably tell you if it's real or fake. Now, there's been a couple lately that has me kind of on the border where I may have to actually have the real footage to see, because sometimes it's better to have the actual uncut first video, because people manipulate them too when they get passed around. And there's some stuff out there that you can tell right off that's fake, and then there's stuff that you have to question. But I always say question everything anyways, because it's good to do that. It's good to be a skeptic at times. You can't always heartily believe everything you see, especially now. But it is bad. It's real bad. But I watch these top tens, and it cracks me up. And it cracks me up on their information too. These guys do the top 10, and it's like they don't really do any research. I watched this one guy. I actually stopped watching him because he never had. I've seen that, like, I'd see a video, they'd show a video that I knew about from a while ago, and they'll totally screw up the story and everything. It's like, man, I'm tired of this. If you're going to show the video, tell them the truth, tell them the real story. Don't give them this twisted concept because you didn't take time to really read and look for the story behind the video. You can usually tell on most parts. AI is really bad. It is getting better about the hands, but there's certain other things you have to really look at and pay attention to. Now, CGI, it's pretty impressive, but you can tell with it too. CO sounds and Patty haven't been debunked, so they are authentic. Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But there's other stuff. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Right now, I would say the most legit stuff you're seeing that's legit is stuff coming from South America, Europe, but mostly South America and Mexico. There are stuff coming out of there that even creeps me out. And I've watched a lot of those videos hundreds and hundreds of times. And there is some creepy, creepy stuff that I really believe is legit. But they are very superstitious people down there. So, it opens that door even bigger, wider. If you want to see some really good stuff, I would suggest checking out Darkest Secret, Lenore. The channel's called Darkest Secret. Check that channel out. She shows a lot of the stuff from South America, from Mexico. Some of that stuff you can tell, and she'll even point out she is one of the few that actually will show you fakes, and she'll tell you, look, I dug into this. This is a fake. She is one of the few that actually do that I have found. But some of the stuff that she shows is just amazing. She actually did a little miniseries about this lady and her daughter. Her daughter, the lady passed, or I believe a son. She was into communicating with the dead, psychics and stuff. And they had found a book. And they were using this book to do tests of talking to, and the whole house is still haunted to this day. But if you go to her channel, you really need to check out that series because it's legit. After I saw the first 2 parts of the story, I was like, I need to find out this is legit. And it's very legit. The lady kept very detailed notes. She knew each of the ghosts, and actually the ladies that were working with her were sort of dropped like flies, not either leaving or passing. You have to watch the story. It's not a story; it's real. And the channel's name. Here, let me do this. Even better yet, let me just drop her link in there. I got to go to it. But yeah, it's one of my favorite channels. I really like her a lot. Actually, a lot of people that pull up on these top 10s use her videos and remove the watermark. So hold on. The channel's name is Darkest Secret. Here it is. Hold on. And here it is. Yeah, please check it out. You guys would like this channel. It's really, really good. Especially when it comes, and she does a little bit of everything. So a lot of that is the spooky stuff. There you go. Let me put it in there for you guys. There you go. Right there. Check her out. You might find her very interesting. And she does not only the South American stuff and the Mexican stuff that you have to go to like YouTube Mexico or YouTube South America, wherever part of that you go in South America you have to go to that YouTube to find those videos where she goes and looks for them herself. And I believe she speaks those languages too, which makes it even nicer because there's been a few where she translates and stuff. But yes, check out her stuff. It's really good channel. One of my favorites, actually. I've followed her for some time now. Always impressed with her stuff. So yeah, check it out. Let me get on with this. Let me tell you about this cabin down here. Trying to get us in the Halloween mood for the month. give you a little idea of this place. Those who didn't hear the Dogman werewolf, I'm going to say werewolf. Sorry about that. I meant to clean that off. This is in Athens, Ohio, or actually Logan, Ohio, just before Athens. It's in a valley, and Logan and Athens are kind of valley sets, kind of like be driving around anywhere else outside your area. Very foresty. It's only probably half hour or so from north of Athens County, where Athens University College is at. But Logan is known a lot for its cabins, a lot of outdoor stuff, and a lot of private. I wouldn't say private, but regular people like my dad and stuff buy little bits of land and put up like prefabs and stuff, go out and go fishing and stuff. Well, they bought one of these properties, fixed it up real nice, and it sits on a hill. You pull in, and when you come in, you kind of go down and right into the place. And then the house sits on this hill, and then on one side of the house, it kind of slopes and kind of dips in. And for about maybe a mile, you run into a nice, it's not a big pond, but it's a pond. And then when you go back toward the house, because in front of the house is Mason Road and Forest, it kind of sits on a bend. And then when you pull in the driveway, if you walk through the forest, you'll find the pond. Then you have the house, and then off to the right of the house is a garage that has a room above it with stairs you walk up, and it's got a nice big walkway so you can sit on it. That's where we usually stayed in the room. It's just an open room. It's got a bathroom in it, but basically it's just an open room where everybody kind of, those who don't want to sleep in a tent or something, go up there and crash. They get dibs on that. Plus they had a couple an extra bedroom, a couple extra bedrooms that they let people stay in. And most people stayed in tents out in the backyard. Well, just so you get it, you pulled in, you got the garage, you got the house. There's 3 Christmas trees or pine trees, and then you have the backyard. Well, on the side of the backyard maybe extends maybe a half a mile, not even that, maybe a quarter, before you drop down a hill of trees, and then you hit where the road bends. You'll hit that road going down. It goes down and around. Anyways, and then the backyard is pretty flat. And if you can stay in the backyard, if it's like wintertime, you can see the pond just enough to see the water. But it kind of goes down a dip. And then behind the house, it kind of drops. And then one side of that drop is pretty steep and kind of runs off toward the creek that runs off the pond. But if you go to the right of the backyard and go down a slope and follow a path, you'll run into another property and you'll see this little tiny, I think it had 2 bedrooms and a kitchen and a bathroom. So it was a hunting cabin. Not very big, had a nice little porch. It was a cool little place. If you could afford to get rid of the black mold, it would have been a neat place. But every time we went down there, I always got this creepy feeling. I mean, really, really creepy. So me and him decided that they offered to, hey, you guys want to stick around for a couple of days? You can. And we were like, Greg goes, I don't have to work. So yeah, let's do that. So we're hanging. So that first night we're hanging around, and it's pretty quiet there. Every so often you hear some weird noises. The peacocks. There's a lot of peacocks around there. So they are creepy when they do their screams and stuff. It literally sounds like baby crying, and it's really creepy and really loud. Every so often you'd hear them going off. But other than that, those 2 nights we were there was pretty quiet. But it was the first night I went down. He wouldn't go down, but I told him, I want to go check out this cabin at night. And he was like, nah, you can go down. I made it about halfway. So I got right in front of the place. And I just got a gut feeling, nah, don't do it. Go back. So I went back. I just followed my gut and went back. Maybe it was for the best. Well, I figured we got one more night. I'll go down that night and check it out. I waited till about 1 o'clock. He passed out. So I figured, it's a good time. So I got me a couple flashlights. and walked down to this place. And I'm walking around. You can't get in. They had a big old padlock, and I really wanted to get in. So I even checked the windows because I actually wanted to get inside. I wouldn't go stand there long because some of the walls had really bad black mold, and you don't want to be breathing that stuff in. But I did try to get in. But apparently they had boards and stuff on the windows, so you couldn't open the windows. So I'm walking around this place, and I was getting this creepy vibe. Nothing really bad, but it just, every time I was around this place, it just felt weird and creepy. So I kind of just hung around and walked around. I kept hearing noises out on the forest, but there's a lot of fox and stuff like that. So I didn't pay too much attention to that. But then I started hearing noises inside the cabin. So I would take the flashlight and looking for coons, because I couldn't get on the roof to see if there was any holes, if they had blocked the chimney because they had a fireplace or anything. So God only knows if there's critters in there. But I kept hearing noises in there. I didn't think anything of it. I was just, looking in the window, seeing if there's critters running around. I couldn't see anything. So I finally got a little bored and started messing around, checking the windows again. I really wanted to get in the place, even though I was creeped out. I really wanted to get inside because I really wanted to check the place out because I'd heard the place was going to go up for sale. Probably wouldn't want much because the property they owned wasn't like a lot of property. It was pretty much just a little acre around this cabin. And I decided I'm just going to give up and head back. Well, an hour had passed, and this is probably a little after 2. And I started heading back because I played down there around for about an hour. I was just messing around, kind of enjoying myself, but yet kind of creeped out about what was going on. Well, as I started walking away, I heard more noises coming out of that place again. So I go back. And I start shining the flashlight in there, and I couldn't see anything, but I could definitely, it sounded like dishes is what it sounded like. Because I stood there and it got real quiet. I mean, the area got real quiet. I mean, there was still crickets, not like that kind of quiet, but it was quiet. But it definitely sounded like somebody moving dishes inside this place. And I had the light right on the kitchen because it's all open, and I couldn't see nothing. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I know, okay, my gut's turning. I know something's going to happen. Nothing happens, but I can still hear dishes. I can still hear movement inside there. So I'm wondering, like, maybe there's dishes up underneath the sink still. They didn't get everything out of it, and there's a coon or something down there moving around. I really wanted to get inside, so I still couldn't get inside. So I just kind of hung around a little bit longer. And I'm shining the flashlight in the windows, and that's when I saw it. I distinctly seen what looked like a human shadow go from one window, go by one window. There was a door, a little income. The door, it was like a little small little L shape with a little porch, and there was like an couple old rocking chairs, the door, and then a wall. Well, it went by the window, but as soon as it went by this window, there's a window that sat right by the door. And next thing I know, it went by that window. I go, damn, that was fast. And I stood there. Hold on. And I kept watching to see if it would do it again. Well, this time it did it again, but reverse. So I went up and started looking in the windows again. And again, I started hearing dishes and stuff move around, but I couldn't see anything. And I'm going nuts by this time. I really want to get into place. Excuse me. And I decided, well, I'm going to go up in there and see if I can get a screwdriver and see if I wedge up one of the windows. Because I wanted to do it because we were leaving in the morning. And I wasn't paying attention to time. So I started to leave, and I heard this voice say, hey, what are you doing on my property? And I freaked because it sounded like it was right behind me. And I turned around, and nobody was there, so I just hauled it out of there. I never got to go back. Hold on. I never got to go back down. Excuse me. That hurt. But it wasn't as scary. It was just freaky. But I'm pretty sure that place was haunted. I never found out, other than the fact that the people didn't talk much about the place when they were there. I believe it is up for sale. That I last heard, and that was about a year ago. And I don't think the property ever sold. Or it hasn't sold yet. Even though I don't talk to Greg anymore, I still talk to the people that own that prefab down there that where we used to go. They call and check on me every so often. He said, as far as they know, they hasn't sold the land yet or the cabin yet. That they would probably have to tear it down now because it was really. He said it's really bad inside there, and it's starting to stink. Because he's asked the property owner to either tear it down because he says it's pretty sad. It's all sealed up, but there are days he said a stench comes from that house, and that piques my interest even more. If it stinks, then what is going on down there? Hold on, my nose, allergy season. But I was thinking about calling them and going down because Athens, that place, it was creepy. And I don't know if they tore it down. And when I talked to them, that was probably about a year ago. So I don't know if the place is still standing. But when I talked to her, she said, yeah, there was a stench coming from the place. She said on windy days or hot windy days, you could actually smell. It smelled like rotting trash. So they didn't know if somebody was getting in the place and dumping trash in it. Nobody wanted to go down there and look at the property. So, oh, you have power now? That's good. Were you out of power again? Or were you out? Or was that why you disappeared? I know a lot of people are having some weird Wi-Fi issues too. But yeah, I never got to go back to that place, and I really wanted to go. So I'm going to give them a call. God just went out and came back on, or has it been out for a while? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So you were on, then it went out. This is some weird stuff. I guess a lot of places, a lot of banks and stuff were out of stuff. Lost Wi-Fi. Bank of America and some cell phone lost. Oh, excuse me. Lost stuff. Really reminds me of how, the thing was that cabin, every time we went down there, like I said, every time I went near that place, I got creeped out. But I always was intrigued by the place. And even though that wasn't really like a scary moment, it just definitely told me that I wanted to go back. It made me want to go back even more, but I never got that opportunity after what happened with the werewolf thing and Greg freaking out. It was just a mess. And I mean, they do call and check on me. They've invited me down there. Hold on. Okay. And it's just me and him don't see eye to eye, and I'm afraid if I go down there, it might not be a pretty situation. I was really upset what he did with his phone. I mean, if I understand right, the picture he took was like primo. The other guy I was with got to see that picture, and I didn't, and he purposely hid it from me because he knew how I'd act. I'm telling you, that picture would have made a lot of people freak out. But from what I understand, because I never got to see it, but way Jeff talks, that thing could have been like the picture. Good night, Robert. Thanks for hanging out. You please take care of yourself. Like I said, yell anytime. And please have a wonderful night. And hopefully see you soon, okay? Don't be so scared. Come in and give us a hard time once in a while. We'd love to see you. And take care of yourself. Like I said, Pixie will be here tomorrow night. Me and Gemma will be here Friday. So come hang out. If you get bored, come hang out. And give us a hard time. We like that. But yeah, I want to go back. I know where it's at. So it's like, do I just go down one weekend and just go with a friend and go down and check it out? I mean, I don't have to go to their place to go check it out. I know it's right behind the place. There's a driveway and everything. And see if it's still standing. Only person I can give a hard time is me. Unfortunately, yeah, you can give us a hard time. We love it. You just stay strong, man, and have a good one. And like I said, yell anytime. Don't be afraid to yell. I'm around. I don't go far. Believe me, the old man. I stay pretty close now because him being 91, I won't go too far. Bless his heart. He does better than me someday. Except he seems to spend a little bit more time in the bathroom than. But yes, please make yourself more known around here. We'd love to see you, Robert. I'm sure Gemma would love to see you. So, but yeah, it's just one of those places that a little encounter, a little incident like that makes me want to go back, and it sucks when I don't get to go back. And things have been so crazy, but it's not that far a drive. But on a different note, we're going to go down and see my dad's sister. Now, my dad is from Chillicothe, and I'm sure some of you people have seen that video of that guy down there where he's inside the tunnel underneath the railway bridge down there in Chillicothe, where the legend is, and Dad says it's, from what he understands, is true. But he said what happened was the mother could not care for the baby. And she took the baby up to the railroad bridge up there because it was not a whole lot of traffic. And she was going to put the baby on. They were going to do themselves in on the track. She was going to allow them both to be hit by a train. And when the train started coming, she had second thoughts and tried to get off the track and didn't move fast enough. And when it hit her and the baby, they fell off. They, of course, got pretty devastated, but most of them ended up in the creek right underneath. Well, the road comes in. There's a tunnel, a big tunnel, and it's separated. On one side of the separation is a creek, and then a road tunnel. And they always said you can hear her talking or the baby crying. Where like in the video, the guy hears her say something, then you definitely hear a baby cry. When I showed my dad that video, he goes, "I know exactly where that's at. We're going." So we're going to go down there. I'm going to make sure I have my camera, my phone, and he's going to take me down there during the day. And if we end up staying the night with his sister or something, I'm going to go down with my cousin, and we're going to do a little investigation, see if we can catch anything. Because he says it's not actually far from where he grew up. So that should be pretty cool. And then I still plan on doing now, I think one of the nights getting closer, one of the Wednesdays, I'm thinking doing it on the 23rd or on the 30th. Because actually Halloween is on the 30th. But I know a lot of people do stuff on Halloween. So I'm thinking about doing it on the 23rd. See if I can get internet down in the cemetery. And I'm going to go down here in the cemetery one Wednesday night for a spooky time and kind of hang out in the cemetery. I don't know if I'll do it by myself, but I plan on it. And hanging out down there for about an hour. And maybe we'll catch something. Maybe we won't. That cemetery is pretty old, especially this back of it. So maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get to catch something live. But I do plan on doing that. I have it marked down. I'm making sure that we have a couple of police officers that keep pretty good eye because there's an apartment. When I go down there, there's an apartment complex, actually where I used to live, right next to it, that runs all the way along, all the way down to the river. And what I was thinking about doing is doing a little video in the daytime so you guys get a layout of the cemetery. Then come back and do a live. So I hope you join me for that. That is going to happen. I don't think I'll have too many problems unless one of the neighbors complain. But if it's just me, it's not going to be real loud. So unless something really scary happens and gets me screaming, which takes a lot to do. Let me catch back up. Yes, Robert, I hope you have a wonderful night, sir. The ocean is a mistake. Now, the ocean is an interesting place, too. Man, there's so little it's pretty sad when we know more about space than we do our own waters. They're trying to learn. Odd thing, roommate said that he saw some flashing light. There's a lot of that nightmare going on too, because I've seen footage of these guys. I'm sure some of you've seen that footage too, where these guys are in a fishing boat and they're watching this green light. And then there's one where they swear something may have crashed and it actually leaves a streak, like this red streak, and there's bubbling and all kinds of weird stuff going on. At first, I thought it was AI because I only cut like a little bit of the thing, so I had to go back and rewatch it. I'm like, man, this could be legit. But the ocean actually intrigues me more than space does, believe it or not. There's the Kashitaki lurking under the water, ready to pounce on unsuspecting visitors. There's all kinds of creepy things in that ocean. Now, how many of you believe in the mermaids? Even though we've seen our share of fake videos of mermaids, there is one out there that actually there's one of a guy who's on a fishing boat, and I believe he's off the coast of Alaska, out there in those waters. I think they're crabbing. And actually got real big on TikTok, and they shut him down for a while. And every so often he sneaks a video out where he's on this boat. You can hear these things calling to him and singing. And he's got footage of something swimming with the boat. And it's creepy. And then they docked one day when they came in the dock, and they went, we're getting ready to go back out. A Marine team showed up and took over the boat. And that was they pretty much put an end to him after that. And you don't see much of him now. But I think he does still try to get stuff out. I believe he's on a different boat now because of what was going on. But I'm beginning to think that may have been literally very legit. Because he literally disappeared just so weirdly. And every so often somebody says he pops up on TikTok with a video, and it doesn't stay up for very long. So I don't know. I don't do TikTok. So the siren video I saw recently was credible. I thought, yeah, I think it is too. A couple of people have started replaying those videos. So you got to be careful because there are older videos. I think that was from 2 years ago. People being called in the ocean happens to man on the West Coast, me on the East Coast. And a man went missing and his car was found by a river. He left a note saying he had to go to the water. It wouldn't surprise me. Water is a very interesting thing. What siren video? I don't even, it shows up a lot in top 10s. I'm trying to think of where you could find it, Riley. Hold on. I'm looking here for something. One of the channels I may have, you may have to go back a bit. I know that's Impossible Channel. Hold on. I think I remember what video that was in too. Hold on. It's an older video, but he actually showed quite a bit of the footage. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull that particular video up and give you the link for it. 1 second here, because I don't mind doing it. It's a good, I like his channel. Anyways, I've followed him for some time. But yeah, he showed it. And he showed most of the video of all the videos that the guy was doing. 1 second. It's way down here. It's been a while, so give me a chance to look it up here. Because I know the video when I see it. He does. He gets some pretty good stuff. He's another one that gets a lot of footage from other countries too that we don't see. We have to go dig around for. Hold on, I'm looking. Give me a second here. Are you going to see if you can find it too? Yeah, because I'd like to find it for him. What do you do? Okay, here we go. 1 second. I went farther back than I thought. 1 second here. Because I really want to show you this. It is pretty cool. I can't show it to you, but you can go look at it. And Riley, I think you'd find it pretty interesting. Man, it actually looks like he may have removed videos. Hold on. I know he got tagged a couple times. Or people give you a hard time for copyright, but they really can't. Because if you're using it as if you're, there's certain things you can do. People just don't fight it, which I think is sad, because if people would fight these fake copyright crap, we'd be able to do a lot more. Hold on, let me, I know it's in here somewhere. I know it wasn't 4 years ago. I went too far back. Hold on. I want to find this for you because, I hate bringing up a video. I guess I have to be more careful when I bring up videos that I at least have the links to them so you can at least go look at them. Okay, there's the cave one. Yeah, because he even did it took up quite a bit of his video. Shouldn't exist. 2 years ago. Here we go. Hopefully I can find it here. Maybe one of us will get lucky. Yeah, it's That's Impossible channel with James. I'm just looking for the particular video that he had a lot of that stuff in that this kid had posted. Aha, is this it? Yes, it is. Here, I think I found it. This whole thing's pretty cool. This one's got a bunch of stuff in it. But let me make sure this is the one with the boat. Because I believe this is the one with the boat. Maybe not. Hold on. Nope. But this has got one good stuff in it. But I want to make sure. Okay, this is the one. No. Come on. Please be the one. No, this is not the one. Darn it. I'd like to find it for you. Okay, there's the C one. That's not the one I wanted. 1 second here. Man, I'm getting real dry real fast. 1 second. I hate doing this, but I want to make sure I get it right for you guys. Because it is pretty cool. This is actually pretty amazing. 1 second here. I believe we are thinking of the same guy. He's on a fishing boat out in, I believe, up off Alaska. I believe they're either crabbing. I think they're a crabbing boat. But I could be wrong because some of the seas he's on look pretty rough, but yet not that bad. But they're definitely way out there. Let me make sure. Is that the one? Let me check. That's him. That is. Riley, that's the link. She gave you the link. That's the guy. That is the guy. Everybody tried to say it was dolphins. Those are not dolphins. Yep, you found the link. Thank you. Great almighty Dragon Bacon Jr. That was awesome. Thank you for finding. That's not even where I was looking. You saw a whole, and that looks like it's quite a bit of the footage too. But Riley, she gave you the link. There you go. Oh, excuse me again. Man, I ate too much for dinner. We had General Chow's chicken. I didn't do too bad of a job of making it myself. Yes, it's pretty interesting, and I believe there's even more of that before they silenced him, because he was silenced. Thank you again, Melissa, so much for finding that. I was looking at James because that's where I saw a lot of that stuff was on James' channel, which is That's Impossible channel. Oh yeah, yeah. It's an older video, and it does. I went and looked at it when I was going through his library. It looked like some of his stuff has been removed because he literally had a lot of videos. Mentor Dragon, you're gonna make me blush. Oh, you found the one with the James video? What's a mermaid saint? That I don't know. I've never heard of a mermaid saint, but I've heard stuff like that. So thank you. I just didn't. I was rushing. But yeah, it actually does look like some of his videos are missing. Because I swear he had a bigger library than that. Nightmare, you snuck by me. Yeah, he's been here. He didn't have power there for a little bit. But yeah, see, I watch these top tens, and I watch a lot of them. And most of them the same thing. When you start watching like 5 different top tens and they all start showing the same videos, it's time to stop watching them for a while. That's the only thing is like one video comes out and everybody shows it like 30 times. Yes, James. Oh, you're going to post this link? I guess I could have done that too because I've met James. I've talked to James. I sent him some stuff many moons ago. So some of my stuff is actually in those videos. Especially when he was talking about the sun doing that weird stuff. Because I was finding the same stuff that Mr. MBB was finding about that. Looked like a sphere being released, a gas bubble being released off the sun. It was real freaky looking. Well, I found that a couple times and sent them to James. But I used to be in this Discord, and he's a real nice guy. Like the true crime channels. You know, there's a big again. I asked Gemma to go back and do some of her true crimes and some of her missing person stuff and kind of re-update them and maybe redo them. But she got the summer kind of screwed her being stuck. You know, they didn't get little man into a daycare so she could work during the day. So they kind of screwed up her summer. But she's ready to get back in the swing of things. So give her time because she still has a lot of good ideas that she's getting ready to implement. So, and she still wants to do a stream about her spiritual negative positivity that she did Monday. So keep your eyes out for her next week because her son is off the next 2 days from school. So it's going to be hard for her to do anything during the day. And she was at the doctor's today. So speaking of, if you watch Crime Weekly, it's so sad that Stephanie's a strange hubby passed. Yes, it is. 2-year-old video. Yes, it is a 2-year-old video. So I said it was about 2 years that all that stuff came out because it is an older video. They are older videos. And as for the guy, I don't know. Like I said, I don't do TikTok. So I don't know if he's posted anything. But from what the research I've done on the kid, he did get shut up. Somebody shut him up and stopped him from recording because in one of his last videos, you see him sneaking around the boat trying to show that these people are on the boat, setting up equipment and stuff. And that was pretty much the last time I saw anything from him. But somebody says every so often he sneaks a video in, but it disappears. It doesn't stay up for very long. So I don't know how true that is. I tried TikTok, I tried X, I tried Snapchat. I dropped literally in a day. TikTok, I lasted a while, about 2 weeks, and just I have a hard enough time even getting on Facebook, much alone those. So I just dumped them all. And the main reason I'm on Facebook now is for you folks and Gemma, so I can, help promote shows and stuff. And by the way, so yeah, that's basically why the first time I was on Facebook, I had so much grief. I was a little more of a rebel then. I was constantly posting stuff and getting put in Facebook jail. I still get a little slack from them now. Every so often, people from my friends list will disappear, just like here on YouTube. Names would just disappear. And I'd go back and refriend them. I'd refriend them, and they'd disappear. And it's like, what the heck? So I just gave up. Bad dragon. Yeah, I was pretty bad back in the day. I was posting. I'm a pretty political person when it comes down to it. Well, it's not as much politics. It's just my goal was just to wake people up to the craziness, because both sides are whack jobs. So that's my opinion. But yeah, especially now. Oh, that's what we need. Rebel Dragon Oracle deck. There you go. There's a deck for you. That would be awesome. I was going to do something. I forgot what I was going to do. Oh. Ding dong me. Why am I doing that when I can just do this? I'm so goofy. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. I know it really didn't get to a whole lot of counters because I'm chatting it up with you folks. You guys got any questions for me? I know, Riley, you're fairly new. Do you have any questions for me? I mean, I'm not like ultra researcher like Ryan is or like Gemma, but I've seen my stuff. A lot of my talk comes from my own experience, from my own research, but I am more on the biblical side. Those two know that. I guess that's what kind of makes it a little more interesting. Here we go. I wanted to do this because I think it's important that I promote. Yeah, and if you can give a couple bucks to the channel, that would be appreciative. It's not that big a deal, but it does help. It does help Gemma. We are trying to grow. She's slowly starting to work more graphics into her stuff. Actually, I'm about ready to ask her if I can post a couple videos. It's either that or I post them on Rumble. So, and I've enjoyed working with Gemma over the last couple of years, and she's been really good about letting me pretty much do what I want. So within reason, and I try to be a good boy here, but some of my more rowdy stuff I may take over to Rumble and put my own channel up there. Because I still talking about, I have 2 videos that I was going to do for YouTube, and I just haven't had the courage to post them. Despite me doing these streams, I'm not really a person that likes to be in the limelight, but that's one of the reasons why I picked to do late shows, because I knew I wouldn't have a whole lot of people. Sounds bad, but it's true. Because I'm not really that kind of standout guy. I'm always the guy that likes to hang around in the background, keep things moving. But I have to say, I enjoy my time with you folks. It's been fun. And then I'll keep doing it as long as she lets me. And even then, she's like, yeah, I'm going to go to another. I'll just go to Rumble. I'm trying to get her to get over there, because as soon as she gets over there, the sooner that will help her start bringing some money in too. I had an experience at Old Orchard Beach, Riley. I have missing time. Oh, really? Oh, that. Did you tell us that one, Vixen? Yeah, Vixen is a very interesting lady, Riley. She's an interesting person to talk to, too. Actually, most of the people in this chat are very interesting to talk to. Even Melissa. I'm picking on you, Melissa. What are you going to do? I'm glad you stopped in. I just wish Edna would have made it in tonight. I'm going to have to give her a hard time when I see her on Facebook tomorrow. Occasionally. See, the thing about me doing these late nights is I don't always look my best because I've been cruising all day. I can't see getting all cleaned up and going to bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of those people who can't go to bed with wet hair. I don't have people do it. My baggy face is showing today. My skin's not sitting tight on the old dragon skull. I told that to one of my grandchildren. I go, my skin's not sitting dry on my dragon place, and I started doing this. They were like, "No, don't take your mask off." So I can't do that. I was going to give you an upside down smile, but I'm old. I can't stand on my head like I used to. I think something happened at the LBL, but the storyline isn't consistent. I guess didn't they have Moggs was saying they had a bunch of them there doing doing research and stuff. Now, I don't know much about the place, and the reason I don't make a big deal about Bigfoot research is because there's so much out there. There's some great people out there doing some excellent research, but there's also some people out there that I don't know if I could trust them as far as I can throw them. So, yeah. But yeah, there's just Bigfoot and Dogman. I don't mind talking about, but there is just so much information, so many channels dedicated to those two things right now. And I've always been that because of what I see, and I think I've explained this before, because of what I see is mostly in the realm of the shadows and ghosts and more of the, I want to say, spooky side. I call that spooky side. It's, I have seen my share. I'm pretty sure I've seen my share of skin crawlers. Hey, War Criminal, did you just pop in here? Oh, War Criminal goes down there pretty regularly. Oh, really? Now, see, I don't know much about that place, other than what I've learned from Moggs and Long Island Bigfoot, Mike, and those guys talking on Moggs channel and some of the other channels. Apparently, it's pretty active. Moggs said when they went, they really didn't have much go down, but he said it was pretty confusing because there was a lot of people down there. They were trying to film, and I think I don't know if it happened to Stevie B, but Moggs was filming her, and then he gets a fence post or something, and they accidentally caught something running behind her. But I haven't seen that footage, but a lot of people talk about that, and amongst their little group. So I don't know. But I've heard mixed opinions about now that there's too many people down there, the activity, now that all these people keep going down there, the activity kind of slowed down. I don't want to make comments I know nothing about, other than hearsay and what I've seen and heard from other channels. I used to go to the big Scottish festival at Thompson Point Beach. Belfast has a Celtic. Oh, okay. Yeah. You talk about your Celtic festivals all the time. I'd like to go to one of those. I bet my mom would have had a blast at one of those because she was really into the Celtic. We do have Irish in the family, so we're pretty much mixed breed once we left the Highlands. I believe something weird does happen at LBM, but the Amish family case is fake. Yeah, which is funny because you would think of all people that would be kind of truthful would be the Amish. But, you know, they do and say things just like us to bring attention to the community and to the area. So, yeah, I would believe that. And I don't know much about that story, which is really weird. And I'm sure I've heard it probably 2 or 3 times. But there are so many stories. I get them so confused sometimes, especially when it comes to Bigfoot and Dogman. There are just tons of stories, and I hear so many of them. I tend to get them mixed up. And like I said, that's cryptids. I love cryptids, and they are part of my forte, but not as much as, you know, ghosts and shadow beings and the things that hide in the darkness. Oh, you do. That's right. I ordered a shawl and my dad's. Okay, cool. I'm so unsure. I'm so unsure about this video. If it's real found footage or someone made a short film, but it creeped me out. Watch later. Which one is this? Hold on, I'll tell you. I've seen so many of these. I'm watching it now. Is this the one I think it is? Wait a minute. How old is this? 17 years ago? I think I have seen this video. Wait a minute. It's a shame I can't show it here. You know, yeah, I think I have seen this video. Yes. Yeah, I'm not sure if this was a fake. And I'm going to have to go back and watch it again because it's been a while. But I have seen that video. Let me every time I do that, I have to refresh because it helps to see it, and I jump right back to normal again. Skip to the end. Yeah, I guess if I'd done that, I'd probably known for sure. Hold on. The footage is just horrible. Oh, yeah, I believe this is a fake video. If this is the one. Yeah, I should have went all the way in. Yeah. See, with some of the stuff that you can get now, even back in the day of YouTube, you can make a video look like VHS footage really easy now. So, but yeah, it is a creepy video. There's a couple like those older ones like that are very creepy. There's also a couple of those I want to go through because I think I'd be able to show some of that stuff now if I take them and cut them down. Because I know, and see if I can show them and see if I can get okay. You know, it's like for a while there I was showing a guy's video that was actually using research that I did. And he had no problem. He told me I should have fought the copyrights. I mean, they copyrighted me where they gave me a yellow doans, which is basically taking monetization away from the video. But he told me I should have fought it because he gave me permission for it. But, you know, I didn't want to deal with it. They pretty much gave it back to us after we complained. So I just let it go. There's a couple ton of videos that were really. Have you seen the video where the guys are driving around and they start realizing that it's like they're making a circle? They realize they just keep running the same pattern. They keep passing the same thing, even though they keep making turns. They keep ending up in the same place. Now, that video is really creepy, and it's hard to find any information on that video, which makes it even weirder. The Horton Mine video with the chain swingings in Nevada, that is real. That is a real video. Actually, I know friends that have been that mine, and I wish I could have gone with them. Says that mine is really creepy. It gives off a really messy vibe. And those chains, I guess everybody has seen those chains swinging, or some of those chains moving, and other things in that mine that are just. I had the friends that told me, when they went, said they got pretty deep back in there. And it got the deeper you go, the creepier it goes, and the more dangerous it gets. So, but he said a lot of those mines, and they tell me, and I have friends out there, and I don't know if Ryan's ever been to any of those mines. Some of those mines, I think, are honestly cursed. I think they dig too deep, like in Lord of the Rings. Sometimes you dig too deep, you may not like what you find. Oh, yeah, I ain't going in any mine. You wouldn't go in a mine, even if I took you. It's not, they're not that scary. You just got to remember, they can't hurt you. Well, I don't know. They say that, but they can if they really wanted to. I mean, most ghosts can't hurt you, but there are things that come from other realms that can mess with you pretty good. I mind my own business. I don't blame. Now, would you go in a haunted house? You won't go in a haunted mine. Oh, excuse me again. You wouldn't go in a haunted mine, but would you go in a haunted house? Would you stay in a haunted house? I've stayed in my share. I stayed in the Stanley Hotel. That was one of the best experiences. My ex-wife, was a total skeptic until we stayed in room 213. That changed everything for her because we heard everything in that room that night. That bathroom was full of life with nobody being in it. The water would turn on, water would turn off, shower would come on, then turn off. We both sat there and laid there and listened to somebody holding a conversation in that bathroom. When she called the main lobby and asked to be moved, I would laugh. I sat there on the edge of bed laughing, backing. I thought you were going to be able to stay there. I know. You picked this room, not me. Yeah, I did pick that room. I like trying. Well, she doesn't get in that, so I didn't take anything like that with me. And we didn't have, at that time, this was 1984. No, 1985. So we really didn't have it. I mean, I could have took my recorder. I should have. But I didn't know we were going to stay in the Stanley Hotel for our honeymoon. That was a surprise. I knew we were going to visit the place during the day. But, yeah, I fear ghosts. Ghosts shouldn't bother you. You just got to remember, most of the times, they are just like a record replaying over and over again. They're residual. Most ghosts are residual. Now, when you have a ghost that can respond and stuff, usually they're stuck here for a reason or they choose to be. I don't watch any of those Skinwalker channels. I know more than I need to. And yes, you do, Vixen. Yes, you do. I probably should send Riley back. I wonder if I can find Riley. You want to see, if you want to hear about Vixen's little encounter with the Skinwalkers, let me find the video that she talks about that in. If I can find it, it's an old one. It's not that long ago. She tells the story in one of my streams. Yeah. I try to remember. Was that a Wednesday night? Vixen, did you do? Yeah, you did that on a Wednesday night, didn't you? Sorry about that, folks. That was when I was doing, when it was called Chill and Chat. Was that the 11 o'clock or the 12 o'clock one? I got to remember how far back. Not that far back. Wait, maybe that far back. I think it's a little further back than that. I've seen people not saying a word. I've seen people not saying a word skinwalker or Wendigo. They think saying yes, and actually, it's true. When you call their names out, it's basically attracting them to you. Vixen is a strong. I believe Vixen has a good reason to feel that way. Ryan has even brought that up. That you really honestly shouldn't talk about them, but everybody does now. So, but yeah, it's if you're in that areas where they're prominent, yeah. I think so. It was 11, maybe. Yeah, I remember. I'm just trying to remember because it wasn't that long ago. And I just got to remember. See, I need to start writing dates down too. I did the 10 to midnight. Was it one of those nights? I think it was, wasn't it? Hey, Chris, what's up? You never saw the SW word on the res ever? On the reservation? You never say the SW. Yeah, you never. Now, even Ryan will tell you that. So will Nighthawk. Man, I want to go back and find that. I'll be doing that all night. Hey, Warm Criminal, we were just talking about you. Vixen just talked about you. How you doing there, bud? Jarvis getting a Jibbermill. What's up? Yeah, I think Vixen was just talking about LBL. Like I said, I don't know much about that place, so you can fill the people in. That'd be good. All I know is about what I've heard from Moggs and Stevie B and Long Island, Mike. So I think I'm not sure if Pine Island if Jeff talked about it. I'm sure he has. I know there was at one time a bunch of you guys down there. Somebody was filming something. You guys were. I didn't catch the whole story on that one. Like I said, so much goes on. Sometimes I'm just trying to keep up. How you doing, Chris? Laying back and listening to me ramble. Sawdust Beast or the LBL guys. Okay. Yeah, well, you've seen me in Mog's channel. I mean, yeah. The Amish family encounter LBA authentic war. See, I don't. You have to talk to those guys. Riley is the expert in here tonight. I don't know. I think he's kind of learning too. I'm not sure. He might be. What am I not an expert? Well, I guess I'm not really. I don't like to think of that as. Actually, I don't consider any paranormal investigator an expert because you may have knowledge and a lot of it, but to me, an expert is like being an expert jet pilot, or you know. I'm not saying that people can't be expert paranormal investigators, but I just don't look at it that way. Because to me, everything is still theory until we have hard evidence. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, though. And I witness this stuff all the time, especially the crap I see following people. So it's hard for me sometimes to say the things that I say, but I know people listen. You know, I tell stories, encounters. I don't have evidence, you know, so it's either you believe me or no. That's fine. At least enjoy it. I know what I see, just like everybody else, but I can't prove it. I've got some pictures, but they're not worth showing because they don't really say anything about. The one picture I do want to catch, though, that I am trying my butt off, is to catch that dang black-eyed kid that I see in the hospitals and that doctor's office. That's the one picture I do want. Ghost Brother, I'm not talking about. I know, I'm just thinking of it. I'm in a weird mood. You're all good, man. All good. Might have been a Saturday night. I think it was a Wednesday night, though. Vixen, I'll go back and look for it. I just didn't want to be rude to people while I was scanning videos. But I will find it because I'm pretty sure I knew exactly about when it was. I just got to go and I don't, I should get, I guess, because I don't like saying I'm going to have a guest and then something happen and not be here. So, but I will find it. It won't take me long. I'll do it in between my runs tomorrow or tomorrow night after Pixie. Now, folks, Pixie will be here tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Me and Gemma and I like to say Gemma and I on Friday night at 7:15. You can show up early, about 7 o'clock, because if she can start early, she will. I'll be here as long as everything's good. I'll be here Saturday night for Gemma's replays. Same time, 12:05. I start 5 minutes after on those for a reason. Then I'm pretty sure Gemma won't have any videos uploads coming out Monday. So it'll be us Tuesday for Tuesday Talk. Then me, and then it starts over again, except on every other Thursday. So Pixie will be here this Thursday, tomorrow night, or I should say tonight. And then since it is Thursday, but she won't be here next Thursday, so she's every other week. The land between the lakes. The lakes. The land between the lakes, Kentucky. I'm definitely looking into the after show. You got me all. You all got me up. Got one up on me. I don't know what they'll be. It's a place, I believe. I've never been there. I've heard everybody talk about it. So that's why I don't want to say too much because I'm real sketchy on that because I don't know everything. But I've heard a lot of conversation about it. So apparently everybody would, in Mog's the other night, everybody was saying they were seeing eye shines and stuff like that. So the land between the lakes. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying I just don't know much about it. I think it's plausible to do. I do know that the place is weird, and a lot of the reasons, Riley. You got a video on that, or would love to check that out. Yeah, I believe yeah, he does. I know he does. I have watched the post-witness of the Massacre on Cryptids Institute channel. Oh, okay, yeah. I think even one of the shows on Discovery or History Channel did a thing on that too. famous for Dogman and Bigfoot killings. You got me thinking about giants now. See, I'm a big giants guy. I like giants. There's a lot to say about the giants, the Nephilim, and they're being seen again. Now, there's a video right now that's out that shows these people. I'm thinking it takes place either in Mexico or South America. I'm trying to. It's an interesting video because these people are looking up on this hill and there's this guy. You can see him. I mean, he's as big as a tree, but it looks like he's holding a cell phone and it looks like he's wearing a shirt and shorts. So I'm like, where did this giant get a giant cell phone and where did he get giant shirt and shorts? So I can't tell if it's just a view perspective or if it's not real. But the guy in the video, the giant in the video is real. That person, that part of the video is real. I just don't know if they've spliced it or what, but it's really weird. No, it's not CGI. I mean, if you watch the video, the guy on the hill who's bigger than the tree is real, but it's just something's not right about the video. I don't know how they did it, how they used the force perspective to kind of mess with you, but it's weird because it looks like a giant standing up on this hill by a bunch of ruins, and these people are looking up at him. He's walking around. It looks like he's playing on a cell phone, and it looks like he's got a T-shirt and jeans on. It's a trippy video. If I find it and I can get it to cut enough, I'll show it maybe Saturday night or something and see if I can get away with showing it. Yeah, Riley, Work Criminals. He's got some good stuff too. You might want to check him out. Actually, there's a few people on here you might want to check out that come in and out of here. I think what I'm going to start doing next week is you folks got channels and you want me to post them. I'm going to start posting them so people can check them out, like Riley and stuff. Because there are people that come in here and get curious. And I talk to my friends. I sat with one of my friends on FaceTime and was showing them all your guys, certain people's channels. Because he's just really, I mean, he known me for a while. He's known what I've seen. He knows I see the ghosts and goblins and stuff. But he's starting to get into the cryptids and stuff now, too. I believe, from what he said to me the other day, he thinks he's seen the grass man out in Zanesville. And when they were out camping about a year ago. Now, his encounter is pretty basic to everybody else. They were camping. So it was a pretty quiet night. About 10 or 11 o'clock that night, they started hearing knocking and some whooping, and he really didn't believe in that stuff. So they didn't think much of it. He said by the third night, they were pretty sure while they were in their tent that something rather large was walking around them, but they were too scared to get out of the tent, which I don't blame. So that piqued his interest because he knew of the grass man. It's pretty big from about Zanesville down. I don't know why I'm looking at YouTube when I got two chats at the same thing, but one's slower than the other. Hey, War Criminal, want me to post a channel for you? Oops. I'm not even well. We're supposed to be. Let me look for this here real quick. Yeah, finding him in my thing here. Ooh, excuse me. I mean, I got it bad tonight. Dang it. Why did it do that? I hate when it does that. Butthead. I screwed that up so bad. Come on. Get on my Facebook, YouTube page. There we go. Doofus. If you'd like. Yeah, I'm going to do that for you, bud. That way people can go check it out. Yeah, because folks, if you got channels and if you're not a wrench, and I need to make sure that Gemma gives you a wrench too, and a couple of you new folks, once you get a little more settled in, Gemma will give you a wrench so you guys can post stuff. But War Criminals should have had one a while ago. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, there you are. Yours is War Criminal 7976, right? You know, there's another one too. I don't know why they started acting the numbers at the end of them, but here we go. That's right, sir? I want to make sure because I have another one, but I may have screwed that one up. What do I have that one? I have two. You don't have two channels, do you? What do I do? Oh, well. It's getting time to be out and about. The leaves. Yes, this is my favorite time of the year. So yeah, I'm ready to get out and about. My dad saw it fishing in the 70s. Oh, really? I live 30. Yeah, you live pretty close to Lovewood. Yeah, so that makes it sweet. But yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know why I have two of them. I have two of you in my. It's the same one. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't screw up or you had an older channel or something before I clicked on the other one. Good breeze. Yeah, I'm more than happy to post people's links to their channels. So please, and I think that's what I'm gonna start doing too, is go through mine and people that I know that have really good channels that give really good information. I would love to visit the Moors too, really, because there's some interesting stories that come out of those places. Best place to be in fall, New England, especially Maine and Vermont. Yeah, I like Ohio. I'm not saying those areas are not beautiful because I know they are. I would love it before I saw Daniel Sten's encounter. Folks, I'm going to have one of three of my four cigarettes right now. So almost done. Counting down now. Okay. Let me pull that up for you too. 1 second. While somebody explain who Daniel Stearns is, let me pull up his counter so he can check that out. A curly haired guy from home. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Yes, it is the guy from Home Alone. Okay. Actually, they have it from the Celebrity Encounters with the Paranormal. Hold on. Actually, his is the first one too. So I remember when that aired. Here you go. Here's the link to it. There you go. You can go check it out when you get done. We're giving you all kinds of homework there, Riley. Beware the hound. Yes, beware the hound. And I have had an encounter, what I believe was a hellhound, too. And that will be one of my ones I do closer to Halloween, because I've had encounters with a couple of dog. I don't know if I want to call them hellhounds. These things were not right, though. And I'm going to give two of my scary, and they're pretty tense. Hopefully I can give you that tense feeling. Like I said, I'm not the best storyteller. But yeah, those are going to come closer to Halloween. But yeah, I've had a couple encounters with the one I definitely believe was a hellhound. And I believe it was chasing the guy. It was chasing a guy. And this guy was freaking out. But I want to save those closer to Halloween, because I actually have a list going now of things that I want to. Everybody wants me to ramp it up for Halloween, so I'm going to do my best. Tonight wasn't the best, but this cabin has always intrigued me down there, and I still have this urge to go down there and check this place out, because that counter, the little shadows and that voice saying, "Get off my property," really just piqued my interest, and I never got to go back. Beware the hound and his brother, the mountain. Yep. Yeah, you got to watch that mountain. He'll step on you and crush you into tiny little pieces. But yeah, I've had two encounters with dog-like entities. As I was talking, when Ryan was here that night, when I was talking, I seem to have, and the more I sat and thought about it over the last couple of weeks, when me and Ryan had the conversation here one night about me seeing these like spider entities. I've seen a lot of these creepy looking spider human things a number of times in my life, especially following people or actually being attached to people. So I'm going to talk about those two and what I think they might be. Everybody's watching Hocus Pocus. It's that time of year. Love Game of Thrones. I loved Game of Thrones until the end. And I haven't watched any of the new stuff yet. I am still trying to catch up on the stuff. I haven't even watched the new Penguin yet, and I was hoping to do it tonight, but I guess I'm going to have to do it tomorrow night. But I'm hooked on that show, and I've already watched one episode, so I'm not going to miss those. I'm going to stay caught up on those. But everybody tells me all these good shows after they've been on and off, or 2 or 3 seasons have aired. And I'm catching up on Tulsa King now, so, and rewatching a lot of those and getting caught up. And you're welcome, Melissa, for earlier. And I know he answered the question for you too. See, I like it when people come in here, because you guys that come in here and know stuff makes it so much easier for me, because I may know, but like I said, sometimes what is in my head has a hard time coming out of my mouth, as you see some nights. So yeah. And it makes it kind of hard to do this show sometimes, because there are things that I would love to talk about, but communicating it is hard. I've only watched YouTube for the last 5 years. I'm not up to date on TV. Now, see, I watch certain things on television, but I'm considered a TV brat. Oh, the last show you watched was Supernatural. I keep an eye out what's on. Now it's pretty much very little that I watch. There's shows that I keep an eye on to see if they show something that might pique my interest. Other than that, I'm a movie guy. I watch a lot of movies, a lot of documentaries. I was raised with all kinds of movies, so I love most movies in general. But of course, sci-fi and horror is my main things. But yeah, I don't watch TV like I used to. Now YouTube, I've been with YouTube ever since it started. Um, the only time I really wasn't active in YouTube or watching YouTube was the time I started right after Samantha, my second, was born, up until, and then I got back in for a little bit, then kind of died off because I got busy working odd shifts, and then I stayed up on YouTube, but I really started really getting back in YouTube after I got divorced. But I've been watching YouTube since it was at the beginning. So there's a lot of creators like Jeremy and those guys. I've been watching those guys for years. You know, Salty was a gaming channel. I mean, he talked about games and stuff. I did Netflix for a minute, but they canceled my show and pissed me off. Now, see, I watch a little bit of Netflix. It's usually if I'm watching Hulu or Netflix, it's because it's someone I want to watch. I'm that guy that likes to have hard copies. Like, my son found this for us the other day for a couple bucks. So I'll probably watch these. This is all of them. You know, even though the Godzilla movie wasn't the best, the cartoon was. So I'll be watching those. Yeah, he got that for a couple bucks. I was excited. He said that one disc skipped, so I'm going to have to fix it. Yeah, everybody says Wild Robot is really good, so I am going to check that out. Somebody said it's kind of a tearjerker, too. The OA about the NDEs. Yes, I did see that. Now, I watch a lot of shows about that stuff because, oh my God, that Godzilla movie was the worst ever. Yeah, I make fun of it too. But the cartoon had so much potential. And it always works that way. I get to like it something and then they cancel it. I'm just scanning chat because I get the gabbing and I miss things. You guys keep chat rolling pretty good, and that's great. Worse than Sharknado? Yes. No, Sharknado is least entertaining. This movie had its ups and downs, mostly its downs. Though I do like the Godzilla, but it's not Godzilla, it's Zilla. Godzuki, you mean what do they call him? I don't know if I can't think of the name. Oh crap. Manila, whatever they call him. The only movies I love I love the alien movies. Now here's my top 3 movies when it comes to sci-fi. Aliens, and I like all of them. Even though some of them are not the best, I love all those movies. Predator, The Thing, the John Carpenter's Thing, plus the original's really good too. In the cartoon, he was Godzuki. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Matthew Broderick. You know, he hurt some people very bad in England for driving on the wrong side of the road and totally got away with it. But Aliens, Predator, The Thing, the original, and the John Carpenter version. I love that movie. They Live. I love that movie too. What was the other one? And those are probably my top 4 right there. Terrifier 1 and 2 are fun movies. Yeah, they're wild. They're just fun movies. Well, Miss Cindy Lee, how are you, dear? I hope you are well. Good to see you, dear. Oh, I loved your little Halloween Michael Myers video. That was pretty cool. I don't know where you found that at, but I shared it with the Jersey women, the Jersey ladies. I hope Gemma sees it. Smile. Now, see, I haven't seen Smile, and I want to check that out because you said Smile 2 was good. Was it better than the first one? Because I had heard mixed. I usually don't go by reviews, but it just looked like a movie that I might be. Now, The Quiet Place, I really enjoyed. Yes, it's 2:20. I think last time I hung out until a little after 3, so I'll probably at this point go a little longer. I'll probably call it at 3, since that seems to be the new time now. But I do have to get up in the morning, but I don't have to be there until like 10:30. And that'll be it'll be at least an hour or two before I even can get my body to chill out enough to sleep. Because when I get out of this chair, I'll be all over the place. I'm trying not to rock the chair now. Anything and everything Terrifier related. There you go. Terrifier was actually in one of these trilogy movies. Yeah, Quiet Place 1 I liked a lot. 2 was okay. But I liked it. I thought it was really well done. Riley, I have Tourette's. I have a movement. I have a movement disorder that's a form of Tourette's, and I rock, and especially really bad in my sleep. And I've done it since I was 2 years old. So yeah, this boy don't sleep a lot. If I sleep, it's like in intervals. If I'm lucky, I might get 2 or 3 hours a night. Sometimes 4. Lately, it's been about anywhere between 3 and 4. But it's not until like a lot of times I can't get my body to shut down until like 3 or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll sleep till maybe 9:30 if I'm lucky. The Terrifier movies were okay. They're fun hack 'em up movies. He's a good character, so he might have some longevity for a little bit. If you all watch Scary Mysteries YouTube channel, the creator has a movie out I recommend called An Angry Boy. Ooh. I'll have to check it out. Have you been watching that channel? Hey, Melissa, post the link for it. I've actually not seen the. I watch Slap Ham. Slap Ham, you got to watch because some of the stories and some of the information he gives about his videos are not always correct. And he's another one I have had to go back and correct, along with a couple other people. So thank you, Melissa. You can check it out. Oh, wow. Okay. Subscribed. Another one to add to my huge list. I'll have to check it out. Thank you, Melissa. Dragon Jr., Dragon Bacon Jr., or Bacon Dragon Jr., or Person You. Thank you, dear. You sweetheart. But yeah, I'm still into classic. There are some really good ones that have come out. Now, some of these new Exorcist movies that have come out, I've been really disappointed in. But you're never going to beat the original and all these little aftermaths. Mr. Ballin, I enjoy. Slap Hand, like I said, you got to watch Slap Hand because a lot of times he does not give correct information according, for the video. This is Monsters are your top your top channels. I'm pretty much all over the place. I watch a little bit of everything. What looks beneath. I watch his channel. He's got some great stories. Lately, he's been doing a lot of stuff from Ohio. So, in fact, in my feed, I've had a lot of Ohio stuff. In my home feed, not in my subscription feed, but in my home feed, a lot of stuff about Ohio. It's like, I've been there and I've been there. Actually, PT Paranormal has actually been to a lot of places I've been to. He's another great channel too. And he stops in here every so often. Super nice guy. He's always a good channel too. He does a lot of Ohio stuff. I appreciate it because, like I said, he's been to a lot of places that I've been to. Probably Chris has even been to. Let me get him up. And I'll post his link because he's a good one too. Where is it? Where are you, PT? Hold on. There he is. Here's his link. He does a lot of lives, a lot of good stuff. I like his stuff. Nice gentleman, too. Yeah. I know you're from Ohio, you goof. But they may not. There we go. Yeah, he's a good channel. Also, Riley, if you want to talk about Dogman and Bigfoot and all that stuff, actually, Ryan shows up on their show a lot, and you may have already seen this channel, but this channel is also really good. I think you were in here one night. You probably already know this channel then, I believe, but DA's really good. They have their good nights and bad nights, but yeah. Now, Melissa, do you watch Lazy Masquerade? You know him, right? You would love his stuff too if you don't. He's got some good stuff too. You do. I knew it. He's one of my favorite channels. He does some really good research. Also, Nexpo does some great stuff about YouTube and all that stuff. He does some interesting, what I call research YouTube, where it gets deep and dirty. Oh, Lazy got good voice, yeah. He does a lot from Japan too. Yes. Well, his wife is Japanese. I didn't know if you knew that, but yeah, his wife is Japanese. Yes, Colin's channel is very good too. Hey, Chris, if you want to post his link, that's fine. I like to promote these people because some of them really do have excellent channels. Now, I like Nuke's top 5. Only because he's hilarious. And yeah, he's gotten them wrong too a couple times, but he's always fun. And he gets a lot of people that send stuff in. And it's like he's not posting all the time. It's like all of a sudden he'll just pop up with a new set. Let me go back to this real quick. Nexpo is really good. I like his stuff. Let's see other one. Hold on. Anybody here watch Woodward television or TV? He's interesting too. Oh, right here. You guys want to hear great stories that you don't hear every day Thank you, Chris. And I'll go check that out. This gentleman, it is really good. He grabs the encounters that nobody really talks about, and some of them are like the oddest ones, but he does his thing. And that is this gentleman here, Beyond Creepy. So check out his channel too. Some of his UFO stuff, some of his paranormal stuff, the stories he finds, the encounters he finds are just amazing. And he literally tells you at the end, do your own research. But he's a great channel. And Nexpo, I don't know how many people watch Nexpo. And what was the other one that I was going to push tonight? Where are you? Where are you? Unseen Paranormal is pretty decent. Where are you? Rainbot, but she posts now. She doesn't post like she used to, but she's really good to watch. She's one of those in-depth, pulls up stuff from YouTube and TikTok and talks about them, that really crazy stuff. I like this. We're pushing channels tonight. I love that. Yeah, I love Nukes only because he's so fun. I mean, it's like he takes it seriously, but not seriously. And he even admits when he makes a mistake if you point it out. But he's another one. Sometimes he'll get good stuff that you don't see 1,000 times. It seems there are millions. Oh, Riley, there are so many paranormal cryptid. We'll just say in general, paranormal channels. There are just tons of them. And we're just talking in the United States alone. We won't even talk about the thousands upon billions that are over in Europe, South America, Mexico, and South America. Man, they have tons of that stuff on their feeds. It is amazing. Which one's that? Oh, yeah. I think this is a pretty big channel too, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. World Bigfoot Central. No, where's that one? I want to make sure it's something. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. I have seen this guy before. Okay, I'm going to check his channel out too, Paranormal Files. Excuse me, folks. Goodness. Much better. I like torturing myself watching them street food, but oh, I know. Now, I watch a couple of those channels, Nightmare, and they drive you nuts. The food they make is just insane. It's so good. Japan has a ton of, yeah, Japan and China does, both of them. Good luck. The ones you get from China are usually ones that people clip and bring into their channel. But Japan, yes, has a ton of them too. Yeah, a lot of them, actually. I like torturing myself with the vendor channel. I'm trying to catch up because for some reason, some of my stuff ain't showing. Let me try this. It's like my YouTube froze. There we go. I tried some of the I'm tired of the same gin videos and India dash cam. Oh, I know. There's like tons of them, and they just keep replaying them over and over again. Though I'll admit, on those gin videos that come out of Saudi Arabia and around and stuff, you got to be careful because a lot of those are fake, but there are a couple of them that are legit. And I'm going to have to sit down and write down which ones are good, which I believe are good, and which ones are fakes, because some of them are outright fakes. Nuke has that one Chinese kid that's so funny when he gets, the one that cusses at the ghost. That's actually the way they investigate. In China, they believe that they call them names and cuss at the ghosts. It kind of stirs things up. Yeah. I showed my son that guy's videos, that Chinese kid's videos. He was laughing so hard. He goes, I can't believe he's saying those things to the ghost. I said, yeah, that's how they do it. That's how they investigate. But I'll tell you what, I would say the 3 best scary places to watch scary videos from, is South America / Mexico, Japan, and China. Well, anything Asian, some of that stuff is some crazy, because I've seen some stuff coming out in the Philippines and stuff like that, and Taiwan, that are just creepy as crap. The Zach Bagans method. You see his new show coming out? Now he's going to try to be like Josh Gates, where he sends investigators all over the world. That will be a real hoot. Baggins. He is a Baggins too, man. I've never been a fan of him. I've met him once, and I didn't like him. He came off like I thought he would come off, like I heard he was. And that's how he acted. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of him. Yes, he did. He had it tore down. I met Josh. He was a super nice guy. He really seems like he gets into what he does a lot. And, he hurt himself pretty bad. And that one, I don't know if you've seen it. In one of the shows he does, he slides down, he falls and slides, and it messed him up pretty bad. So that's why he wasn't doing field studies like he's back doing now. Is why he took a break from that, because he messed himself up pretty good. He messed his back up. But nice guy, super polite. When he talks, you really know that this guy's really into what he does and really enjoys it. Zach just comes off so Zach. But Josh, I've liked Josh ever since he started. Another show I wish they'd bring back is Paranormal Fact or Fiction. I love that show too, and I wish they'd bring that back. Real or fake? My view on the Demon House, it was probably real. That it was real. I believe it was real. Everything that I've learned about that place is just bad. So it would not surprise me if it stayed up today. If he didn't tear it down, it would only have gotten worse. That's like the bar, O'Malley's, and then Mackey's bar. That place, I went twice, and that was one of the creepiest places I've ever been. I was really impressed. We went one time, and this guy literally peed his pants down by the well, and everybody was freaking out. That whole night was just insane. Yeah, Bobby's place, man. And it was the drinking spot of the time. Yes, it was. And it was till the day, I don't even think it's open anymore. I know he passed finally. But yeah, Bobby Mackey's, man. We went twice, and The first time was fun. The second time wasn't so fun. That was when the guy peed his pants, and it was freaky. I mean, because the first time we went, not much happened. But the second time, it didn't scare me. But man, whatever that guy. I mean, I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he was scared that bad. And there was a lady there that was having all kinds of issues. He's tearing it down this year. Oh, so they are going to tear it down? I thought they were going to. I mean, it's a freaky place. And that well in the back is creepy as shit. It's all fun and games till Chris pees in the bar. That's funny. So Cindy Lee, I see you stopped talking. I hope you had a good night, sweetie. Hope you have a good day. That's hilarious. And too much gerbil milk. It's too funny. But Bobby Mackey's place was creepy. When I went to the Ohio Reformatory, we went there for 3 times with 3 nights in a row. The first night was real active. The second night, not so much. It was kind of boring, actually. The third night, the group upstairs apparently caught all kinds of stuff. We would hear stuff, but we never saw anything. But that first night there was pretty fun. I mean, kind of creepy. A lot of crap was going on. I was seeing shadows. Pretty much everybody in our group was seeing shadows. I've been to a few places. Chris has been to a bunch of places. A lot of people in this places. People have been to a lot of cool places. I've been to a lot of places in Ohio. I know Chris has. Too much senile. That's funny. The Ohio Reformatory was pretty cool. The asylum down in Athens, that place, that was one of the places that did kind of spook me, especially when you stand over that girl's stain where they found her. I got real bad, uncomfortable vibes the last time I was there, so I never went back. Well, I went back, but I never went up to the floor that happened at. Yeah, Moundsville. It's scary. The old Indian cabins that they just redid up here at night, that place is really creepy too. During the day, it's not so bad because there's a lot of life going on there, but at night, that place gets creepy real fast. See what else. Been to a couple places in Cleveland. The old school up there is freaking nuts. There's a school up there that's abandoned. If you've never experienced the paranormal, that's one of the places in Ohio to go. Helltown is an interesting place. Loveland's pretty interesting. Chris will tell you about Loveland. Never take the ghost tours. Yeah, don't. Go off. Now, the Reformatory, the only reason I went was because I went with friends, and that's what they did, was they did the group things. Heck, I only had to pay a little bit of money, so that's why I went. And that was a while back ago, when they first started doing it. But it was kind of cool. But usually, yeah, I don't suggest taking ghost tours. It's better to explore on your own. Much better. Now, see, I have relatives down in Louisiana. My cousin, Waverly Hills. I would like to go there myself. That's one place I haven't been, but I would love to go there. That's in Pennsylvania, though, isn't it? Right? That's not here. That's in Pennsylvania, right? I did it to support my cousin's crew, PD, Regional Paranormal, Chad Smith, and oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, in Louisville, okay. Okay. Yeah, that place is supposed to be super creepy too. There's an old factory up in Mansfield that's real creepy. I can't remember what it made, but that factory is. Oof. I had a friend take me there. Actually, the kid who had the demon encounter that lived above me is from Mansfield. He was the one that suggested I go check this place out. So me and a friend went out and checked it out. Man, that place, there's something bad at that place. There ain't no doubt about it. It is okay. Yeah, you got the Loveland Tunnel. Is that the now, Chris? See if I can. It's because it's been so long. Is that one? It's like a underground tunnel that everybody calls the hell hole to hell. Is that down there too? Do you know what I'm talking about? Isn't that out there somewhere too? It looks like a drain pipe or whatever it is. And every time that somebody goes in there, I can't remember. I'm thinking they call it the hell hole or the hole to hell. And I believe it's down there somewhere around there too. But that's pretty creepy. Man, I went there a long time ago. I can't even remember how to get there. But I know it was down south. I do remember it being down south. In fact, I think at one point they actually tried to close it off to people. And then you got a couple places right here around OSU campus. That's going to be another story for next week. I've got a couple little encounters I had right on OSU campus. The Sandusville Rectory here in Cincinnati is a very scary and dangerous. Yeah, that was one place I wanted to go when I was living down there, but I never got the time. But I heard it is real dangerous. Yeah, the borehole in Russia is a very interesting story because they'll tell you the screams they heard are just the ground and all that. And then one person said it was fake, but I have sources that say that recording is very real, and they've been in Russia, and everybody's been trying to. That's why you don't hear about it as much now. Every so often it comes out, and you'll hear that video, and everybody, oh, it's fake. No, it's not. Yes, it's very deep, and those screams on that recording. A lot of those guys, after they heard that, quit the job. Yeah, I know it's been on Ghost Adventures. Yeah, several times. I think it was even on Ghost Hunters. I think Ghost Hunters even went there once or twice, if I remember right. And I'll tell you, that was a disappointment. When I met the Ghost Hunters at Unity last year, nice guys, but they charged for everything, and they charged a lot of money. They wouldn't even take a picture unless you bought a book or spent a certain amount of money. 4,230 feet. Yeah, it's deep. And like I said, the recordings that came out of that when they sent that recorder down there, I'm telling you, a lot of people there, even the Russian government, oh, that's fake, that's not real, but it is real. All those guys had nightmares. A lot of the scientists left, and it never seen it again. They didn't want nothing to do with it anymore. It's sealed up. I believe somebody had asked if they could reopen it. Yeah, it's pretty deep. I didn't get the counters. I only got one barely encounter in tonight, which is fine. What time we got, folks? 2:50. I'm going to shut it down in 10 minutes. I went an hour longer than I should have, but I like going. The last 3 nights we've gone till 3 o'clock, so I'll just go with it. Over 7 miles deep. Almost 8, actually. You imagine falling down a hole like that? I feel like you're never going to hit bottom. You know, interesting though. You know how everybody talks about inner Earth. I believe it's just a form of caverns and huge cave systems. And I don't think it's like the pictures you see where it's all the earth is hollow and there's a whole different, like you would see in Kong. I think it's a bunch of huge cave systems that run around very deep. I just go, yeah, you actually would, you know, people say it's a known fact that most people have a heart attack or die from fear before they hit the ground at large distances. Like people who have died in parachute accidents, an autopsy will report their heart had stopped before they even hit the ground. So, you know, fear literally scares your life right out of you. So, unless you've got a really strong constitution, 2 to 1, you're going to be probably gone before you even come close to hitting the ground. Yeah, I saw this video the other day, and I remember the video when the guy accidentally filmed himself. He was so excited about doing a certain jump, and he usually films his jump. He forgot to put the right parachute on, and he jumped. And he literally films himself just falling to his death. I have bungee cord. I've done that. I've bungee jumped before. I don't do the slingshots. I've done bungee cord off a bridge down south and one time up north. The only things I haven't, I've parachuted, I've skydived, but I didn't like it because I was strapped to a guy and I enjoyed it. It was scary as crap at first. And then it was after that initial fear that sets in when you actually jump out of the plane. It's trip. It's just like oh wow, you know. Even when you're strapped to a guy, but I wanted to go by myself, and you have to go so many times before they do that. It's kind of expensive. The insurance is kind of tight, so that was in the day when I actually had money. But bungee cord, and I had a blast. I think the best time is like we were on this bridge, and when I jumped, we were seeing who could touch the water, make the biggest splash at the bottom. And I was doing it with my head, trying to hit the water with my head. The jump is fun. It's just you got to be prepared for that spring back. That's what messes a lot of people up, and they get up and they're like, "Oh man, now I hurt." You gotta. That's the coil. The back coil is what you got to be ready for. Still, not just I'm not afraid of heights. I saw a video that was pretty amazing. I'm down in, I believe it is in South America again. Seems like my night for South America, Mexico. But they have one at Kings Island with the chair swings that go up super high. I mean, like really high. There's a video of these people stuck on one while there's this raging storm coming through, and they wouldn't take them down. They made them sit through it. These people are freaking out. I would have too. You got lightning going off. You got wind blowing. These people blowing. And they were afraid to bring them down because they were afraid that they wouldn't make it down or something. I don't know what the reasoning was making them stay up there. But those poor people, man. I watch some of those slingshot videos of people that, it's funny because they'll pass out and then they'll wake up and then they'll pass out again. It's hilarious. Another one's talking all the big stuff. I'm going to do this. This is going to be a breeze. And then watch them pass out. Now, when we did up north of the bungee cord, a guy did pass out on his way down. And when he came up, thank God he was all relaxed. But we literally had to pull him up because he was out cold. And when he came to, he was like, "Did I jump?" And we were like, "Yeah, you did." He goes, "All I remember was looking down, and that was the last thing I remember." So he wasn't even conscious when he dropped. So he don't even remember the jump. But thank God he was okay. And he was another one talking all this big game, and the only thing and it looked like he dropped on purpose. I mean, we had no idea that he was passed out when he leaned forward. I couldn't do it. I'd be clawing like a cat. I wouldn't force anybody to do something like that. You have to be prepared to do that. The only thing I really want to do now, or it's actually two things. I don't know if they're on my bucket list because I never really had I've been lucky. I've gotten to do most of the things that I've wanted to do through life. But I've always wanted to ride in a hot air balloon and a helicopter. Those are two things I would like to ride in. I've ridden a small plane. I have a nephew, ex-nephew. I guess they'd be a ex-nephew. That he's a pilot. Where his wife was related to the ex's family, and now he flies not commercial. Well, he was getting his commercial license, but he did a lot of private flying. Flew private jets for people. I've never been on a cruise ship, only because I think it'd be cool to go on a cruise ship. The only problem is everybody I talk to comes home sick. They always go, "We always come home sick. We love to go, but you always get sick on these things." And that was even before the coup. So, and you got to watch some of them. Have you ever, I take it then you've done a cruise ship, right, Melissa? I've never done a cruise ship. I went in 2003. Maybe I got lucky. A lot of people have gotten sick. Now, these are just people I know. A lot of them are older people. So that tells you a lot. Yeah, I always want to do a cruise ship. But I've also heard how people have gotten ripped off and ended up like in like the worst place possible on the ship and stuff. So I don't know. Well, sir, I'm on stream right now. And he texted me at 3 a.m. Wow. Crazy, dude. Oh, you went to the Bahamas? Okay, cool. I want to do the one that does along the Alaskan coast. I thought those would be good. And the Viking one they do, the Viking cruise ships. That was the most clear, beautiful. Oh, I'm sure down there around the Bahamas, they say that water. Well, when we were in Tampa, that water was so crystal clear, and I couldn't believe how far you could walk out. I was shocked. You know, it felt like I was walking out there forever. It ain't no wonder why that hurricane came in like that did. Because that people don't understand warm, shallow water, ocean water, it's just fuel for a thing like that. And that's why it was so bad. What time we got? We're 3:01, folks. I'm going to call it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, folks. Hopefully I can get some encounters in next week. I'm just glad I just love chatting with you folks. And when you guys are chatting it up, that's what I want. The video of the iceberg breaking off in the cruise and the causing a massive wave near that. Oh yeah. Have you seen the video where they're in a boat and chunk breaks off and then all of a sudden, whatever it is, it's alive? A lot of people say it was a whale, but I don't know. This thing came up and surfaced, and all you saw was a big black hump and the water bubbles, and then it disappears. Because whatever broke, when the ice broke, disturbed something rather large down there. Now that to me would have been more terrifying than a giant wave making the boat rock. Oh, you've seen that video. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't think that was a whale. The thing was massive. Whatever it was massive. But then again, whales are massive. So that's like, you know, whatever, but it just doesn't come off as a whale. And whatever it was huge. And I would have liked to see more. I'd like to have been on that ship because you might have seen a lot more that we didn't catch on the video. Anyways, good night, folks. Much love. Please have a wonderful day tomorrow. I hope to see you tomorrow night for Miss Pixie, Melissa, Chris, War Criminal, Nightmare, Cindy Lee, Vixen, Riley, Roger, all you folks. I'm just making sure I get everybody here that was hanging out with me in chat. I want to make sure I get everybody. Thank you all for hanging with me tonight. Please, I hope to see you all tomorrow night for Miss Pixie. The Nightmare, of course. Oh, I would have said Nightmare, bless his heart. He's usually one of the first ones that come in and says hi before I even start. I hope he still, there he is. You have a good night. And thank you for always being the first one, Nightmare. I always know I'm about ready to go on when you pop up. And I'm glitching again right before I leave. That's because I was messing around. Oh, there we go. Well, maybe. There we go. Folks, have a wonderful one. Much love to you all. As you can see, I'm about ready to call it. And I will see you guys on the flip side of tomorrow night for Miss Pixie. Once again, please check out Gemma's books for those who are watching in the background. If you can donate or join the Patreon or become a member would be a big help for her too. And everybody have a lot of love for the weekend. And that sounded weird. Much love, everybody. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tongue-tied now. Yeah, I'm going to get some rest. I'll probably pace around a little bit. My problem is right now, like I said, I had some work done on my mouth Monday, and it's still kind of stiff, and it kind of shifted things around. So everybody have a lot of love over the week. Have a lot of love. Everybody have a loving day tomorrow. Whatever, Steve. You're tired. I'm trying not to choke on my own laughter. Delirious Dragon. Yeah, I am getting delirious. I love you guys. Good night. And I'll see you the flip side of 8 o'clock tomorrow night.